Hey guys, it's November 7th, 2018. This is the ES Renko chart. This is Ninzarenko. It's Renko bars that you could get from it's called like ninja.co, I believe. It's a free add-on to NinjaTrader. It just makes Renko a little, I don't know, a little better for people that like candlesticks because you get these stems. It's not just weird square blocks stacked around. And so I'm just playing with it today. We're on Sim. And then I've also got, I found this new NinjaTrader indicator called a trade detector. And what it does is it just gives you kind of a simulation here of the collective volume at certain points in the bars. And so normally you just see a red bar, that's all you get. But if there's over a certain amount of volume, it'll trigger these little trade detectors. It's not telling you where to trade. So it's saying, hey, there wasn't a whole lot of volume in this down bar, but then at the very end, some sellers popped in a decent, a larger volume. And then the next bar was the same thing. And then you get this pullback in this stem. Well, at the top of the stem, there was a little more sellers than a fat group of sellers. And then when you get down to this bar, you see that buying happened at the very bottom. Buyers, they're the cyan color. Sellers are the red color. Buyers. And then as it goes up, buyers. So it's kind of interesting seeing that displayed within the bars. It could just be a distraction. I'm not saying that this is a good indicator or anything. I'm just playing with it for the first time today. And I figured that maybe we would get a chance for an entry short here. So that's why I started this recording. We've come up to this little book map. This little place, there was some sellers sitting here. And popped off right here. So trades definitely happened, but I haven't seen any indication to go short. So maybe this is just going to go long. I should also note that I normally don't trade with Renko charts either. I just occasionally I like going out on a limb and exploring what's going on. But it looks like this is just a trend up. I don't see any indication of selling here. So we'll come back if we see anything good. Okay, it's 8:30. It's the open. And I think we might take a sell here, depending on what we see. Over here in Bookmap, we ran into this little pile of sellers. Some trades popped off here, so they may have held up. No go yet, because they could still break through these guys and just keep heading up. Sellers got a little more aggressive coming in here. And then they popped back up again in Bookmap. So the sellers are getting a little more aggressive. Ooh, now it flipped over to the buyers. This is what's kind of fun about watching the open, is kind of seeing some of the sporadic action that goes on. It's also what makes it dangerous. If you don't have a clear indicator of which direction to go, because there is so much kind of sporadic action that happens back and forth. Looks like the buyers are a little bit in control here. I don't know. There they go. So the buyers won out for a second at the open. And we'll see if we get a trade now. Oh, that moved quick. We're still moving quick. We're at this previous pivot point here. So that's something to watch out for. See if you get an indicator to sell for any reason. Whew. So you just got that fat group right here. Now they could all be trapped. They could be trapped.
Order filled.
So we bought. Oh, we didn't put our trade thing on. Anyway, we bought there because looks like all those sellers got trapped. I forgot to put my ATM on. So there's one. There's 2 points there. There's 3 points there. We'll just kind of ride it out. I may have to close this down. I mean, I would like it to get up to around 27.84 before I do. There's 2 points. Let's see here, 27.83.75. Looks like there's a little bit of resistance up there. 27.83.75. So if it hits up to 27.83,
Order pending.
we'll just sell there if we can get up to that. We're on sim, by the way. I don't know if I said that earlier. So this is a live trade. It's happening in real time, but it's not real money.
Order filled.
And there we go. So good deal. It was kind of cool actually, seeing that happen. So like I said, I don't use Renko bars. I don't know if I would move to Renko bars, but they're kind of fun. You know, they kind of make it easy on the eyes, and that's not necessarily a good thing. But what we had, let's review why I took that trade. Is we were watching two things. So we're watching in Bookmap over here to the left of the screen. And the open came. It was kind of sporadic. You had all this volume pop in, and then it pulled back. And you see these buyers. So this little yellowish area. So we knew some buyers popped in there. And then what happened is you get this sell bubble, and you see it over here. And this is why I wanted to use the NinjaTrader one, is to see if it kind of matched up with Bookmap a little bit. So it comes back. I mean, it's to the EMA. If you're doing classic entries, that's a first entry and then a second entry. It's off the EMA, but what I really liked is you could see them get trapped. So it moves down to the EMA. Boom, you have all these sellers pop in. They don't want to miss this drop in, and then it immediately fires up. So you know those guys are trapped. That's why we went long. At least you have a pretty good idea that they're trapped. That's why we went long, and turned out to be a good trade. And then in Bookmap, I had my target set at, what did I get out? 27.83, because I saw that at 27.83.75 there was potential sellers that came in. So that makes it easier to find targets. And sure enough, it pulled back a little from there. I don't know what's going to happen after that. But that was kind of cool. I liked it. I liked the way that looked. Let's go look at the tick chart. So this is the, that's a 1,000 tick chart. What are we doing? Give me a minute here. That should be a 2,000 tick chart. So let's look at the 2,000 tick chart. So where did we get in? We got in, oh, right at the top, right there. You know, it's not as pretty over here. You get this sideways movement, you know, before the open or at the open. Moves around, comes back, bounces off the EMA, gives you an okay signal bar. So yeah, you could have gone long there. I kind of like the way this one looks on over here better. That doesn't mean that it would do that every time, but that was kind of fun. We'll come back if anything else sets up. All right, so we ended up breaking through that potential point of resistance, and we broke through it pretty hard. We immediately came all the way up to the previous highs of the day. That's where we're swimming at right now. Still moving pretty fast. There's a fat sellers coming in. I don't know if that means anything. Yeah, so if you're looking at this little area here, you can see that all these bubbles popped up. There was more volume in this spot. It's kind of ugly on the Renko chart. If you wanted to, maybe the fact that these buyers came down at the bottom of this stem. I don't know. That's a harder one to see on the Renko. What does it look like over here? It's not exactly beautiful on the 2000 tick either. So let's see if we get any trade here or if we push on through the high of the day. We're pretty far away from the EMA. We know we've had some sellers here. That makes sense. People are going to be waiting up here to sell. Doesn't mean they're going to win. Their stops are going to be somewhere up in this neighborhood here. I don't know if we've run them out or not. So we'll see if the sellers win at this point. You would expect higher volume of selling up here, even if it's going to push on through, just because that's where people are going to wait. They're going to wait at the high of the day. And it kind of looks like maybe we trapped some buyers. We got some buyers at the top of the stem here. Maybe a breakout trader bought in or two. And then we had some selling come on through. I'm going to take a seller
Order
here, actually,
filled.
here. And again, I forgot to use my ATM. Why don't we turn that on? I wanted to see a little more information before I took that sell. And Bookmap, we had a little seller pop in here. It looks like they've moved out of the way. So we might get whipped here. Let's see. I was kind of thinking maybe we'd come back down to the EMA before we start moving up again. Get a couple points out of it. Not seeing a lot of info one way or the other here. You know, I thought maybe we got a good chance because we had these sellers pop in here. And then since it pushed up and we had these buyers at the very tip before it turned down, I thought, hey, maybe this is where guys were waiting to sell. And they had tight stops. We pushed up. We nailed their stops, and that's why you see the buyers up top. So you trap them now, or you got them at least out of the trade. You have enough buyers to have a bigger player sell, because bigger players need buyers to do selling. They need sellers to do buying. So that's why I took a risk here. Plus, you're at the top of the day. All looks good so far, but we're at the EMA. And this is where it could turn around on us. So you could take 1 point there, you would have been fine. Ooh. Yeah.
Order filled.
We ended up with a tick out of that. I wish I had my automated trading strategy on. That would have been smarter. Oh, what a mistake. Got scared out. And the selling begins. Pushed right past that EMA. Okay, let's go over to the 2000 tick. See what you get over here. You know, it's not brilliant looking. Maybe you just sold because it was the high of the day, but I mean, there's not like a beautiful signal bar in there or anything. So today I'm liking the Renko. This is interesting here. So you have a big cluster of sellers down here. I don't know if the sellers have exhausted themselves out and now it's time to buy. Okay, so I did end up taking one more trade. It was right when I left you guys. So we had all this kind of big volume of sellers down here and then it went up. So I was a little concerned that maybe the sellers had exhausted themselves out, but we got up to the EMA. We had those buyers at the very tippy top here, and then it went immediately down and another big fat seller. So I sold there, and then we got out down here. So that was 2 points on one, and then I think 1.25 points because it pulled back a little bit, and I just got out. But now I am done. But that's been pretty cool, this whole Renko experiment. I might play with this for a few more days because it could all blow up tomorrow. You never know when you're playing with new stuff like this. Have a good week, guys.